Hello there guys, and welcome here to Gatorade Duel number 2, and should be an exciting one here. We already found out guys in the first duel that will be in, but 3 guys in Gatorade Duel number 1 that I am surprised that did not race their way in was Eric Burton, James Fox, and Jordan Davis. They are the guys that had troubles on pit road last race, and no matter what, Eric Burton right now has the previous past champions provisional, but if someone more previous needs that provisional, like someone like Nick Mace, DJ Curtis, or any of them guys need a past champions provisional that is also in this race, that falls outside the top 20, they would get the past champions provisional and not Eric Burton. So that is what Burton is counting on here, hoping that he could use that past champions provisional. But guys like Fox and Jordan Davis, they're going to have to go in the last chance qualifier if they want to race their way in. But that's a perfect example. Some fast cars are going to be in the last chance qualifier race that is going to have to race their way in. And these guys are going to, a lot of guys in Gatorade Duel number 2 is going to try and make an example out of that and try and race their way in here in the Gatorade Duel so they won't have to worry about the last chance qualifier. Jeffrey Lynn, Charles Sanford, the front row. Let's get ourselves down to the start of the Gatorade Duel number 2. As we get set to start Gatorade Duel number 2, Jeffrey Lynn, we know for a matter of a fact that Jeffrey Lynn will start on Sunday in the Daytona 500. Whether he starts first on the pole, or he'll either start 39th. If he wrecks in this Gatorade Duel, he'll start 39th. If he ends up managing his car to the end of the race, he will start on the pole and lead us to the green flag. But here we go. Pace car is in. Jeffrey Lynn, Charles Sanford leads us down. Coming to complete lap number 1, the Mace Enterprises car of Vince Allen leads it at the stripe. Already blowing up at the start of the race, the Corolla's wreck right there. The 04 of Ezekiel Proctor was, oh my goodness, Chase Kravick barely got by, but the 04 Ezekiel Proctor was blowing up, and Mason Gordon, returning this series in this Corolla car, just crashed right into him. It ran in his oil and slid up into him, and both 3 Corolla cars just wrecked right there. And that would bring out a caution as well, and Vince Allen led him back to the start-finish line. Ezekiel Proctor was actually holding on to the pack very nicely and was right here at the tail end of the pack, but just like his teammate Bradley Bishop, he blew up and slid in his own oil, went up the wall, and further back his teammate of Mason Gordon also was in that oil as well and slid right up the track into him. And both the Corollas are not going to make this race now. Getting ready to go back green once again. Vince Allen and Nick Mace, teammates there, are going to lead us back to the green flag. Some guys did not make pit stops last time. I think Vince Allen was one of them. Trent Targer, Henry Kavanaugh, Charlie Smith, Dom Capps, Jesse Turner, Nick Perkles, James Shelley, and, oh, we're under caution again, so I guess the officials just waved off the start there, and everyone's bunched up. They're trying to slow down. Charles Sanford, there's Dylan Young. Oh, there's Richard Johnson getting turned around there on the bottom side. Man, we got craziness going on the racetrack. just like last duel, which was on pit road, we got craziness going on the track. Look at everyone just scrambling there. Yeah, oh boy, the Crayola car, Mason Gordon, still on the track, just ran the back of people. But man, the officials was not ready to let them go green, and Luke Martin was a lap down, I think, and they was just gonna give him his lap back. So I think Martin got screwed over just like the other guys did in pit road last time, and they gave Martin his lap back just then. I think that's what happened there. I don't even know what these guys are doing. Fitzwater, who started very high up on the grid, he's wanting to make it to pit road, and everyone right back here still has to catch up to these guys who doesn't even know where they're starting. Everyone's just kind of scrambled. Nick Mace was supposed to start really up high on the board, but now he's starting very far back, and everyone else is trying to catch up. Really confusing start right here. Everyone's pretty confused on the race leaderboard right now. Okay, after a good long caution, the officials, I think, finally has the field the way they want it here. But we gotta check up on Luke Martin. See, Luke Martin is a lap down. He, just like James Sorofox, Eric Burton, and Jordan Davis in pit road, Luke Martin got screwed over in the pit road, just like them guys did in the Gatorade Duel #1. But this time, he's only 1 lap down, and not 3 laps down like them guys were, and it's early in the race. So if a caution was to come out right now where Luke Martin was, and he could beat the 24 back to the finish line, Luke Martin would get back on the lead lap and could possibly race his way in. But remember, Jake Bassinger had troubles in Gatorade Duel #1. He went a lap down, and he still raced his way in. So I wouldn't count Luke Martin out of making this race just yet. Here's one guy that really kind of got screwed over in the pit road cycle as well, because he got pushed way back here in the back, and he kind of lost the draft here. Fitzwater, he's not the fastest car on the racetrack, but he is really quick compared to all these other guys. And Fitzwater right now outside the transfer spot. Alec Avanaro right now, one of the upsets right now as he runs in 20th, as Stephen Pollard III just went on past him, as Alec Avanaro is trying to hold off there, but the draft is so hard to maintain right here. But right back here, Chris Olivier and Noah Hart are trying to catch up to him so they can get into the transfer spot. Paulatinos in the Finguy Pistoni car. This was supposed to be Jeffrey Finguy until the fatal accident at Road America. I can't even think of that name. It might have been it was Road America, yeah. Road America, Jeffrey Finguy passed away from us, and they tapped on Paulatinos, pun intended, for her to drive this car at Daytona and try and get it into their field here. And right now, Paula is in the transfer spot to race her way in to the Daytona 500. Chase Cravey, one of the slowest guy out of this duel right here at qualifying. He's had troubles here, and he's coming back to the track, so Cravey's return to the series is probably not going to do him any good. Up front, Luke Martin continues to lead this pack around in hopes of getting a caution so he can race his way in. Vance Allen and Nick Perkles right behind him there. Nick Perkles, I'm sure, would love to help his teammate out and try and keep the 24 from passing him there, as Nick Perkles trying to battle for the lead here. Nick Macy went far behind the grid here earlier in the race here because of the screwed up caution flag, and now he's charged his way up from like 14th up to 4th place now, or actually, yeah, 4th place, and pushing Malik Nevins up to the front here. Looking back here at the transfer spot once more, Michael White in the Turner car, the Raven West car of Stephen Pollard III are going to go right by Paula Thenos. Paula is got a not really good fast race car. Paula has been very good so far to be able to keep up with the draft as much as she was able to, and she lost it. And now the best thing that she can do is try and tag along with Michael White and Stephen Pollard III here, because there is Chris Olivier and Noah Hart. They right now have the last 2 positions to transfer into the Daytona 500. And back here, not Chase Cravey, but Alec Cavanaro is the next guy, and he is also one of the underfundedest cars out there. And Allen is kind of off the pace right now because he has no drafting partner. So Paula right now doing a good job with hanging in with these guys here, so she might be able to race her way into the Daytona 500 here in this underfunded Finn Guy Pisoni car. Luke Martin leading this little pack around. He is a lap car, but they are fixing to run up on some lap cars here of Alan Smith, Mason Gordon, Emilio DeLise, and Eric Powers. Also, Alan Cavanaro just got passed by Zachary Fitzwater, and the best thing they could try to do is try to work together, but Fitzwater is much faster than Cavanaro, and Cavanaro can barely keep up with Fitzwater on his own, so I don't think that's going to play any factor here, but here we go. Luke Martin got held up by Alan Smith, and here comes Emilio DeLise, the ARC racing car, blowing up right in front of Nick Perkles. Wreck right in front of our leaders here, scrambling to miss this 06 car, and everyone does. Everyone missed him. Or her, at least. I don't know. That Emilio DeLise is a girl, and boy, everyone missed Emilio DeLise, and they're racing back to the start-finish line here. And Luke Martin is not going to get his lap back because he's held up by the leaders here. Vince Allen is the leader there, and Luke Martin got held up by a lap car, and he is going to be still a lap down. So that's going to be terrible luck. That's not what he wanted. And Vince Allen is going to take us under the caution flag. And right before Alan Cavanaro and Zachary Fitzwater could go a lap down, they stay on the lead lap. And Vince Allen is the leader. Here it is again. Emilio DeLise, teammates with Devin Becker and Sky Commons, drafted along with Eric Powers, went a lap down just then and blew up through the trail, but right in front of Nick Perkles, and Perkles did a good job to get on the brakes and miss it there, and everyone scrambling to avoid the 06 car, did an amazing job, did not have a collision there, and that was an amazing job by some of them guys right there, because if you would have gotten a wreck right there, you could have been looking at yourself missing the Daytona 500. Nick Perkles running second right now, but his chances of making the Daytona 500 almost went away with this incident right here. Watch as this incident unfolds. He did get a slight piece with the wall, but he looks okay to be able to continue on to transfer into the 500. On board our Bud Shootout winner, DJ Curtis. Riding on board with Emma White. I'm telling you, everyone did a good job to scramble past that 06 car. Here's one thing we did not catch. This is a really further back than when the caution is out. Dylan Young, this was way before the caution. He had to come on in and make a pit stop here. So Dylan Young, he's now a lap down, so he's got a lot of struggle with. So Dylan Young and Luke Martin, some fast race cars for this Speedweeks. Young could have been on the pole for the Daytona 500, or been on the front row for the Daytona 500, but Jeffrey Lynn and all them last minute in the pole qualifying jumped up quicker than Dylan Young. So this is really going to cost Dylan Young, and him losing the top spot in qualifying is probably going to be the difference of him making the 500 and him not making the 500. Getting ready to go back green. Dylan Young is in 23rd. Vince Allen's the leader, along with his teammate in second, Nick Mace. Chase Cravy's in 24th, and is still only one lap down, I think. Yeah, only one lap down is Chase Cravy, so he's got a pretty good chance after having that one little issue on pit road that he had to come down for. Henry Kavanaugh's in 3rd. Luke Martin is a lap down, so he's going to try his best to get back on the lead lap. And Blake Nevins in 4th right there. Eric Powers is a lap down. 5th, Dom Cap. 6th, Trent Togger. Right now, Charlie Smith, part-time schedule for Charlie Smith. Running right now inside the top 10. Good run right there. Whoa, Trent Togger hit the wall there in front of him. Nick Perkles almost got in that wreck last time. There's Jesse Turner. And here comes DJ Curtis as they go around the lap cars. Here's Alan Smith. Alan Smith, past Daytona 500 winner, is taking the gamble. He only took 2 side tires last pit stop. And Alan Cavanaro, right there, he's trying all he can. I don't even think he took tires. I think he only took gas. He doesn't even have that much tires on his race car. So Alan Smith doing all he can to try and make this Daytona 500. He's now inside the top 20 as it stands. He almost went a lap down under that last caution right there. He was close to going a lap down. And back here in 19th and 20th, Emma White just went by Fitzwater, and now Noah Hart goes by Zachary Fitzwater there. And Noah Hart's now in the final transfer spot. And there's Sean Perkins, past champion. he is also outside right here. But right here, Sean Perkins was the Season 9 or Season 8 champion. Eric Burton was the Season 9 champion. So Sean Perkins' past champions provisional would not count if he needed to use it. It would go to Eric Burton. So Perkins has to race his way into the Daytona 500 as it stands right now. Here comes a little pack right here, coming up on Alec Cavanaro and the minis and the slow guys right here. Noah Hart, Emma White, and Zachary Fitzwater is going to try and go right by Alec Cavanaro here. Cavanaro trying to make an upset here in this 58 car and try and race his way in, but he gets kick dropped from 18th down to 21st and outside the transfer spot. So right here at the stripe, about 20 laps to go until we decide who makes the Daytona 500 from 1st through 40th. Right here, Luke Martin still continues to lead this little pack around. The Mace cars are 1-2 us right now, but we're fixing to come up on the slower cars right here of Chase Cravey, Eric Powers, and Alan Cavanaro. Cavanaro is 22nd, last car on the lead lap. And here is Luke Martin in 23rd. He has his sights set not on Perkins. Perkins is in 21st, but on Paula Thenos. Paula Thenos is the last guy, or last girl I should say, last person, last driver in the transfer spot, and she has lost touch with Emma White, Zachary Fitzwater, and Noah Hart, who is right now 17th, 18th, and 19th. She is 20th. And Martin just blew by Perkins for the 21st spot. And Nick Mace is the leader. There's Vince Allen in second. But Sean Perkins, his past champions provisional does not count. The only people that Eric Burton right now is worried about is Nick Mace, and all the way back here to DJ Curtis. If DJ Curtis or Nick Mace fall outside the top 20 in this race, the past champions provisional would go to either one of them. But right now, if Dom Capps, Richard Johnson, or Sean Perkins fall outside the top 20, it still would go to Eric Burton for the most recent champions provisional. So Luke Martin coming right up on Paula Thenos. Luke Martin is going to really challenge right here to try and be in this 500, but Sean Perkins is fast as well, and Perkins kind of got screwed over on the restart there and lost the draft. Right now, drafted along with Dylan Young, that's going to be Luke Martin's biggest threat right here for the transfer spot. Boy, do we have ourselves a fight. I just realized that Dylan Young is also a lap down, and he is battling for this transfer position as well. So Martin, Young, Perkins, and Thenos are all battling for this transfer spot. So 3 guys for 1 spot, and Martin ducking low of Nick Macer for the spot right here. He wants to try and separate himself as much as he can. And Perkins is kind of losing the draft somewhat to these guys because of the 92 kind of slowing him up there. And now, Vince Allen takes over the lead, and Martin has the final transfer spot. Yep, I think it's pretty much safe to say that Sean Perkins probably will miss the Daytona 500 or have to race his way in via the last chance race if he wants to race in the Daytona 500 that he won in season 16, because he has lost this draft, and it was all because of Paula Thenos, the Finn guy, the Sony car right there. So now it's just basically down to these guys. 2 separate drivers fighting for 2 separate spots right here. Vince Allen, Nick Mace, the Mace Enterprises cars battling for this win. Martin and Young battling to race their way in to the Daytona 500. Later in the race, here we go, about 10 laps to go. Lap car Mason Gordon gets in the way once again. And so that's going to separate the Mace cars. And Young cuts clear and sets his sight on Luke Martin again. And we're going to give you a field rundown here with only about 10 laps to go. Nick Mace is the leader. Vince Allen's in second, trying to run him back down. Chris Louviere, he is also a lap down. Well, something happened here. Now it's Young and Martin here. They got the final spot there, and Chris Louviere, he is now outside the top 20 here. Something happened to Chris Louviere. He had to come into the pit road, and now he is looking at himself that he might not be in this thing as well. So now you got these guys right here, Luke Martin and Dylan Young. Right now, if they just stand right there, they'll make this Daytona 500, but we're going to give you that field rundown that we promised. Nick Mace is in first, Alan Smith is in second there. Third is Nick Perkles, DJ Curtis is in fourth. Fifth is Malik Nevins, and Chris Louviere, he came down pit road and just took for a splash of gas. I guess he couldn't make it, that he didn't pit or something. He only stayed in there for just a second. And now, well, he's in 20th now. Is there more guys pitting? I'm not sure, but where's the other guy? Someone else must have pitted or something. Because now, Chris Louvier is in that spot as well. Let me check here. Yes, we have pit stops going on. And look at this. The 45 of Jeffrey Lynn is off the racetrack. So that means everyone is not battling for the 20th position. They are battling for the 19th position. Because Jeffrey Lynn is in no matter what. Dom Capps, a past champion, is in. He can't make it all the way on gas. Vince Allen is also in. They cannot make it all the way on fuel. That's why everyone is pitting here late in the going. Togger and Charlie Smith are in. Late in the race, everyone's making last-minute pit stops. Nick Mace is in. Right here, this is the last spot to get in because since Jeffrey Lynn is parked out of the race, he parked this car because he did not want to wreck his Daytona 500 car. And Luke Martin right now has that final transfer spot. Nick Mace, I don't know if he can make it all the way on fuel. And I don't know if any of these other guys can stretch at the end here. Truck Togger and Charlie Smith may be looking at themselves being outside the top 19 here. Zachary Fitzwater is one of the guys that also pitted. He is also outside the top 19, so he might not even be in this 500 here as well. Noah Hart, who was down there around 18th position last time before pit stops, is now 8th position. Richard Johnson's in 10th. 9th is Charles Sanford. With only a few laps to go and pit stops are going underway here. This is insane. Alan Cavanaro also had to come in for a splash of gas as well. He couldn't make it to the end. James Shelley had to pit along with Dom Capps, Luke Martin, and Dylan Young right here as well. I don't know where anyone is. Boy, Dylan Young's having to come out in again. This is not good for Dylan Young. He could have raced his way into the 500, but here comes also Palacios. Michael White, watch him take just a splash of gas for these equipments, for these cars here. Charles Sanford, they're not going to stay in pit road that long. They need to get back out there. And look at that, just enough to get some fuel for the end of this race. Nick Perkins and Sean Perkins bring it in. I'm not even sure what the transfer spot is here. Jesse Turner and Stephen Pollard III bring it in. The best thing that people could do here is try and stretch it on the end on fuel. Noah Hart and Richard Johnson are in. Nick Mason stayed out to the end of this race here. Now here comes Luke Martin, Nick Mason, James Shelley here. So this is really confusing here because you gotta have a very quick splash of fuel stop right here if you want to make this Daytona 500. Now we are getting word that DJ Curtis is the guy with the lead. And Chris Louvier is now back in frequency here, as we thought he was off frequency there where he had to pit. But Chris Louvier is now in 13th position in the spot to race his way in. But Curtis, I think, is making the signal to pit road here and is going to have to come on in. DJ Curtis, yes he is, past champion. Bud Shootout winner, brings it on in, does DJ Curtis, and he's going to take us to the 3 to go mark as he brings it down pit road. Here's Nick Mace, he just got off the pit road, and here comes Vince Allen, who's also in frequency with them. So this is going to be quite interesting to see, with pit stops late in the going here. 3 to go here at the stripe. DJ Curtis, he's just pulling out of the pits. That's Alan Cavanaro, James Shelley, then there's Nick Mace, he is going to be the leader. Nick Mace, and then there's Vince Allen there. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they all fall in play here. We are going to look at Richard Johnson. This is the new updated scoring line right here when we get to here. Richard Johnson right now is scored in the 16th position. Back in 17th is scored Noah Hart. And the 18th position is right now Luke Martin. And then right here for 19th is James Shelley. That is the final transfer spot. In 20th is Dylan Young, and Zachary Fitzwater, who did not have a very fast splash and go stop, is in 21st. Dylan Young has to catch James Shelley if he wants to race his way in, but James Shelley, I think, is going to be fast enough to race his way in if he can hold on to this draft right here. Vince Allen, with only a lap and a half to go, leads Nick Mace's teammate around. And Noah Hart's in 17th position. Palacios is a lap down here, so looks like Paul is going to have to rely on the last chance race, and I don't think she's going to get it done. But white flag is out in the air for Vince Allen. Nick Mace is in 2nd. Luke Martin right there in 8th. It looks like he's going to race his way in, and James Shelley with no competition Looks like James Shelley is also going to race his way into the Daytona 500. But down the back straightaway as they run up on the lap car of Noah Hart. They're going to look low of Noah down the straightaway here. Noah gives him all the room in the world. But Luke Martin in the middle of Nick Mace and Vance Allen gives Vance Allen the chance to pull the gap now. Vance Allen, it looks like he's going to start 4th place in the Daytona 500. Vance Allen coming to the start-finish line is going to win not the Budweiser shootout, but the Gatorade Duel number 2. And Luke Martin is going to race his way in through all the melee he's been trying to overcome this race. And someone must have pitted again because, oh no. I thought he was still in 18th position, but they went by Noah Hart, and Noah Hart's in 18th. And 19th is James Shelley. So Noah Hart and James Shelley are going to have the final transfer spots in the Daytona 500. And as you can see, why we wasn't racing for the top 20 spots is because Jeffrey Lynn, it says a valve broke or whatever, but he retired out of the race because he did not want to crash his car. So he brung his 45 car into the pit road way before the 06 crash, and he just didn't want to have anything challenge him from missing this race here to fall back to 39th. So Jeffrey Lynn will start on the pole, and then Jeff James will also start in 2nd position. And so, man, that was a crazy one there. But look at the guys who are not going to be in this thing here. Dylan Young, Zachary Fitzwater, Sean Perkins cannot rely on his past champions professional because Eric Burton is the most recent champion. Then there's Paulithinos in 23rd. Alan Cavanaro, past Daytona 500 winner, 24th. The 35 car of Eric Powers is going to be 25th. Chase Cravey and Alan Smith, Mason Gordon. Then Amelia DeLeese, I don't even know if Amelia DeLeese and Ezekiel Proctor will come back out for the last chance race because I don't know if they have backup cars or whatever. But, man, here comes the last chance qualifier, guys. This means Eric Burton in this race, he's no matter what guaranteed in the last chance qualifier a spot in the Daytona 500. So Burton will either start 41st. If Burton wins the last chance race, he will start 41st. But if he finishes 2nd or lower in that last chance race, Eric Burton will no matter what start 42nd, either racing his way in or the past champions provisional. So this means right here that Jordan Davis and Sean Perkins are going to have to race their way in to the Daytona 500 by either winning this next last chance race.